Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you guys a whole lot for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. If you are new to my channel, if this is the first time of you coming across Stylish Naija YouTube channel, I would appreciate if you will hit on the subscribe button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then if you find this content, this video that you are watching, if you find it helpful, I would appreciate if you will hit on the like button and then share it with your friends also. To it actually helps. Is by doing that, okay, let me say, doing that, you are actually helping me to grow. So you share it with your friends and your soulmates in your groups, in your various groups. So please do that, I would appreciate it. Today I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew this trendy Canadian smoking off-shoulder gown. So you could see the picture up there. Canadian smoking has really been trendy lately, and today I'm going to be showing you. So we're going to be making the sleeve. I have lots of Canadian smoking videos on my channel, and then the fabric that I'm going to be making use of is 2 yards of Ankara. Is a straight pencil gown. That's what I'm going to be showing you how to do, but I'm not going to be making it as a bustier. So you could make yours a bustier, and then mine is not going to have any waist cut. But there's something I'm going to show you how to do a straight dart. That's the dart that actually runs from the top to the bottom. So we're not going to be doing the waist dart, but we're going to be doing a straight dart from the top down to the hem of our gown. That's what I'm going to show you today. So we're just going to get started. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to fold my fabric, and then we're going to start marking directly on our fabric. So we're not making use of any pattern. So those people that normally say, Stylish Naija, why did you use pattern now? The truth of the matter is, sisters, the truth of the matter is, fashion is evolving, and pattern drafting has come to stay. It has been there, but in order for you not to be left behind, you just need to learn how to draft and patterns. So that's just it. But today I'm just going to do a freehand for you guys. So okay guys, so I have some basic lines on my fabric now, which I'm going to explain to you. This first line is like my startup line, so I'm going to use this line as my off-shoulder startup line. So I have the full measurements. I'm going to explain them. The first line, because this is an off-shoulder gown, what we are going to do, I'm actually going to be dropping with 5 inches. So you could decide to make use of 4 inches or even 6, as much as 6, but 5 is just ideal. So you are going to place your tape like this, and then the first line, the second line I have here is my bust point line, which is the nipple point. That's the nipple point that I have here is 10.5, and then from my shoulder, which is this top, to my under bust is 13.5, and then from my shoulder to my waist, that's this point, that's before my hip, is 18.5, and then from the shoulder to my hip line is actually 27 inches. The difference usually between your waistline and your hip line is usually between 8 and 9 inches. This is like standard. So once you make use of it, you will not go wrong. And then the next line that I have here is the full length of my gown, which is 40 inches. So I added 3 inches to it because I want it to be a midi gown. That is, it will go down. It's going to be slim at the down. It's going to be like a bodycon, slim and gown. It's not going to have any slits. So these are just like the basic lines. The next thing we're going to do now, we're going to start measuring. So I'm just going to pull my fabric up and down so you'll be able to see clearly. The first line I have here, I'm going to mark out our measurement. So this is the first line. So I'm going to mark out the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement that I'm using is actually 14 inches because, and this is an off shoulder, I'm going to reduce it to 6 inches. Normally I would use 5 inches, but because I'm going to be cutting open my dart and then stitching it back, I don't want to run into any problem. So I'm going to use 6 inches, and then I'll add 1 inch for stitching allowance on this point like this. And then from this point that I added the 1 inch, I'm going to, I reduced down 5 inches. I'm going to come to this point and I'm going to mark out my armhole. I'm using 8 inches for the armhole, So I'm going to just run a straight line from this point like this. And then I'll mark it to this point to create my sleeve, just to create a round sleeve measurement. So from this point now, I'm going to come to this point. I'm going to mark out my neckline. So remember the 5 inches that we marked out. So just make sure you put that into consideration. So it depends on how deep you actually want the neckline to be. For this, I'm going to use 7 inches. So this is 7 inches. You place your tape like this and then mark 7 inches. So from this 7 inches point, I'm going to be doing like a tiny V neckline. So I'm just going to connect it to this point, and then it comes into the armhole part. So I'm just going to do like a back flip like this. So I'm just looking for how to place my pattern properly. So I'm just going to do like a back flip like this. So it comes into the armhole line, which is the shoulder line, and then it just connects to the round sleeve. You connect to the armhole from this point. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'll just keep managing this and chalk. The other one is really not obvious. The next measurement, so this is the neckline, that's for the front neckline. The back, I'm just going to do a straight one. So I actually forgot to tell you the measurement that I used in folding my fabric. So this is the back piece. I actually used my hip line measurement. That's my hip measurement. My hip measurement is 40 inches. This is our hip line. It's 40 inches. So when you divide 40 into 4, you actually have 10 inches. So this is the 10 inches point, and then I added about 5 inches. So this is just like extra. So you add about 5 inches. So with that you will not run into any problem. So that's how to fold your fabric. So for a hip of 40, you could fold your fabric at 15 inches. You fold it at 15 inches. It's going to be perfect. The next measurement we're going to add now, I'm going to add the bust measurement. This is our bust line. So the bust measurement is actually 38 inches. You are going to divide it into 4 because you see our fabric is folded into 4. When you divide into 4, you are going to have 9.5. So you place your tape on the line like this, and then you mark your 9.5. This is 9.5. And then I'm going to add allowance to it. Because I'm going to be cutting open my dress, I'm going to add as much as 3 inches allowance because I don't want to run into any problem. So I'll add 3 inches. You could add 2, but I choose to add 3. So from this point, I'm just going to mark it like this. The next measurement I have here is my under bust measurement. So you divide your under bust into 4. Mine is 30 inches, and then you have 7.5. This is 7.5. And then I'll still maintain my 3 inches mark. So from this point, it's going to come like this. So since we are doing freehand, so you're just going to keep seeing what I'm doing. The next measurement I have here is my waistline measurement. And the waistline, I'm using 34, that's the waist measurement. When you divide 34 into 4, you have 8.5. This is 8.5. You mark it like this, and then you add your 3 inches allowance. So you could see the shape of our gown. So all you are going to do now is just give it a curve, a nice curve like this. So you see the shape. And then the next measurement that we're going to mark out now is our hip measurement, which, like I said, is 40 inches. You divide it into 4, you have 10. This is 10 inches, and then you're going to add, for the hip line part, I'm going to add like 3.5 inches. So from this point, I'm going to curve it out like this. So you could decide to make use of your pattern curve for those of you that you will not get it straight. So you make use of your pattern curve like this. So you see how the dress is taking shape. The next line we have here is the down part of our dress. So in order for you to do this, to make it really penciled, normally you would, if you just want a normal dress that is not like a bodycon, what I have here is actually 13.5 inches. All you have to do is you reduce about 2 inches from this point. So you could make this down point about 11 inches. That's 11.5 inches like this. So you just mark it like this, and then you connect from this point to this point like this. You see how simple it is to do this. So, but because you see the shape of our gown, but because I want it to be a bodycon, I'm still going to reduce this part. So I'm going to reduce with about 1 inch. That's more. So what I'm reducing with now is about 3 inches. So I'm just going to mark it like this, and then I'm just going to place it like this, and then I'll do this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out the entire bodice block. That's the back and the front, and then before I come back to show you how we're going to do the darting. So let's cut out the full bodice block. So I've not cut out the neckline. I'm just going to leave that, and then let's do the darting first, and then cut out the back neckline. For the back neckline, it's just going to be straight. Okay, we're going to start doing the darts now. So for the darts, you are going to use your bust span measurement, which is mine is actually 8 inches. I'm going to come to this part now. I'm going to take my tape like this, and then I'm going to mark my 4 inches, which is my bust span measurement. I'm just going to mark it from the top to the down, but towards this hemline I'm going to reduce it a little bit. I'm not going to use 8 inches. From this down part I'm going to use 7 inches, so the shape is going to come like this. So it's not just going to come straight block, it's going to come like this. So on the part I'll do the same. So I'll connect the lines together now. So you see what we have now. So I'm going to cut it out now. But before I cut it out, let's do the back neckline part. So this is for the back neckline. So for the back neckline, I'm just going to come like this. This is the part. I'm going to come, this is my front neckline part. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to come down with about 1 inch like this. This is 1 inch. I really do not want it to be too, so I'm just going to connect it like this. So you see this part is just a little bit curved, so you can decide to do any neckline of your choice. So I'm going to cut out the back neckline first, and then for the front neckline, so I'll cut out the front neckline before we open up the dart lines. So the next thing we're going to do now, I'm going to cut the back and the front together using the dart line. So for the back piece, I'm going to eliminate any form of zipper bulge from the back piece. So I'm going to work from this point now. This is actually my waistline point. I'm going to come to this point like this. I'll mark out 1.5 inches, and then I'll come to this point. I'll mark out 1 inch. That's for my zipper allowance. I'll connect them together like this, and then from this down part also I'll mark out 1.5 inch, and then I'll open it up. I'll just connect them like this. So this will actually help eliminate any form of zipper bulge. I'm not deliberating on that on this video. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out my lining, and then I'm going to go and stitch the back and the front. So all you have to do is you stitch back together. I'm going to stitch it back. So when you are stitching, you are going to take, just like your waist dart, you are going to take half an inch from this point, and then half an inch. So you are going to hold it together like this, and then you are going to stitch it at half an inch point. So that will help you to eliminate the darts. So you take half an inch, you're just going to measure it like this, and then you stitch at half an inch. So you could do as much as 1 inch. You could do as much as 1 inch. So it depends on how many inches you actually want to use. You could do 1 inch because you have enough allowance in there. So I'll go and stitch them together now, and then we'll come back for the So guys, you could see, so I finished stitching. So I did just the regular lining of the dress. So this is the front piece, so you could see the neckline. So this is the armhole point. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to join the back and the front together. So you're just going to place them and then join both of them together on the zipper allowance and part. I'm going to join them together on the side like this and then like this. I'll do that and then we'll come back and cut out the sleeves. Okay guys, so you see I finished stitching. I've joined the body, that's the bodice of the dress together. So the next thing I'm going to do now is the sleeve. So for the sleeve, I'm not going to be deliberating on it. I already have a Canadian smoking like this on my channel, but I'm going to drop the link. The only difference is that it is a balloon and Canadian smoking sleeve. The only difference is that that one is a little bit longer. So what you are going to do, if you want to make it short, you are just going to reduce the long sleeve part of it, because this one is actually a short one. So that's just like the difference. So, and I have other Canadian smoking sleeves on my channel and patterns. So I'll drop all of the links on the description box. So you just click it as if you don't know how to do it, and then you watch it and then you'll be able to do yours. So I'm just going to finish up now, and then once I'm done, I'll show you how to actually fix the sleeve on the dress. I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just going to work on my own. So I've actually started doing this already. So I'm just going to I've already patterned it, so I'm just going to couple it together and then show you how to fix it here. Okay guys, so you see my dress. So I finished joining. I fixed the zipper and then I've shaped and the armhole properly. So the next thing I'm going to do now is the sleeve. So for the sleeve, I'm not going to be making the sleeve from scratch because I already have different types of patterns of Canadian smoking sleeves already on my channel, and off shoulder and balloon sleeve. Because if you look at the sleeve on this dress, it's actually an off shoulder balloon sleeve. So I already have it on my channel, so I'm going to drop all of the description down on the description box. So for those of you that don't know how to get to the description box, once you click on the title of the video, when the video is playing, on the right hand side of your screen, you see an arrow that is facing down like a small tiny triangles. Just click on it, just like on the title. So once you click on it, you see it will drop down. You see the description box, and then you see the video links on it. So you click on it and then you watch the video on how to actually do a Canadian smoking sleeve, how to do an off-shoulder sleeve. This kind of off-shoulder sleeve is there also. So mine, I've already finished and doing my own. So it's just an off-shoulder sleeve. So like I said, I have the video already on my YouTube channel, so it will not be good for me to start it all over again. That would be so much work on my part. So the only thing I'm going to show you now is how to fix it. So once I'm done, these rough edges, I'm going to use an overlock seam just to lock them all out. So in fixing this sleeve, is really as simple. It's not something that is really difficult. So you're just going to take the armhole of your dress, and then you take this part also of your sleeves. You are just going to match them together like this. So you see this part like this, I'm just going to match them. So that's literally how you fix them. So if you watch that video of how to do this kind of off shoulder sleeve, you will see a more detailed video on how to do this. So you take it like this and then make sure that this part join together, and then you are going to start stitching. You can decide to pin them down. You can just decide to pin them, and then as you pin along, so because on this strap that you have here, you have already used, if you watch that video, you have already used your round armhole measurement to measure that out. So all I'm going to just do now, I'm just going to keep following this part like this. This is the edge, and then stitch it along the armhole of this. So when you get to this point, the mark where your sleeve is, your 5 inch, in case you're using 5 inches like mine, I'm using 5 inches, and you see the notch that I made for my 5 inches. So all I'm going to do on this part, I'm just going to make sure I push this in. So this is where the 5 inches mark is from the inside. I'm just going to push it in like this and then make it sit on the 5 inches and point like that. So you see, I'm going to open it once I'm done. So and then you stitch this other part also. So you just make sure you know the parts. So you see, this is where my notch is. So you make sure you take this side of the armhole and then you make sure you place it on that part. That's where the 6. You can decide to put the notch. You can decide to use a something like a chalk like this to make a line on this part, so you'll be able to see it properly on the right side, and then you place this on that exact line. So that is what will make your sleeve not to fall off, unless if you know you want to do an off shoulder sleeve that actually falls off. You know, some people, they actually like that one that will be falling off. So then you can decide to make it loose. You will not put it on the exact spot. So at the end of the day, so you see what I have. This is how it is going to look like. So after fixing, so you see what I have. So when you put it on, you see it's like this. So this is your round armhole. So this is the front part. I'm just going to open it. So you see, this is how it's going to look. This side came out. I'm going to tuck it in when I'm stitching. So you see, at the end of the day, this is how the sleeve is going to look like on the dress. So like I said, I have a more detailed video on how to do this. So I'm just going to go and finish it up, and then I'll place it on the mannequin for you to see the final look of the dress. Okay guys, so you could see at the end of the day, this is the final look of our dress. So you could see the sleeve. So like I said, I've dropped the link on the description box, so you could see the back. So you see the dot lines I will do. So thank you so much. So if you find this video helpful, I would appreciate if you will hit on the like button, and then also share it with your friends. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. So thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. God bless you. So you can decide to add applique, just like what you have on the picture. You can decide to add applique on the front. Bye.